Every gardener knows rainwater is liquid gold for plants. It's soft, free, straight from the sky. We collect it in barrels, buckets, any container we can find to gather this gift from nature. But what if I told you that by watering your plants with this water, you might actually be doing more harm than good to your crops? Today, we're going to explore why your rainwater barrel might not be a source of vitality, but a genuine problem. And most importantly, I'll tell you how easy it is to fix. Make sure to watch until the end, and your approach to watering will change forever. For centuries, people have used rainwater for watering. It seems like the most natural solution. It's free of chlorine, unlike municipal tap water, and it has an ideal pH level for most plants. Our grandparents always did it this way, and they had beautiful gardens. So what could possibly have gone wrong in our modern world? The answer isn't in the water itself, but in the path it takes before it reaches your plants. So let's talk about the most critical, yet often overlooked danger. It's called the first flush. This is a phenomenon few people consider, but one that can completely negate all the benefits of rainwater harvesting. Imagine your roof. It doesn't just protect your home from the rain. For days, even weeks, a whole layer of visible and invisible contaminants builds up on it. This isn't just ordinary street dust, sand, pollen, or dry leaves blown by the wind. Bird droppings also land on your roof. And as you can imagine, that's a direct source of some pretty unhealthy bacteria, like Salmonella or E. coli. Watering your lettuce or strawberry beds with that kind of mixture is, to put it mildly, definitely not a good idea. But there's something even worse. Our invisible enemies. The air we breathe today, especially near cities, roads or industrial areas, is far from pristine. It's laden with exhaust fumes, industrial emissions and soot particles. We're talking about nitrogen oxides, sulfur dioxide, and even microscopic particles of heavy metals like lead, zinc or copper. Then the long-awaited rain begins. As the first drops fall through the atmosphere, they act like a sponge, soaking up all these chemicals. This water then hits your roof and, in a powerful torrent, washes away everything that has accumulated over the long dry spell. The result is a truly concentrated sludge cocktail. And this entire cocktail flows straight down your downspout and into your watering barrel. That's why the first 10, 20, or even 30 litres of water collected after a long dry spell might not just be useless, but actually harmful to the delicate roots of your cucumbers or tomatoes. You think you're giving them life-giving moisture, but in reality, you're treating them to a dose of acidic solution mixed with bacteria. Next, let's consider the source of your collected water. It's one thing to rinse off a little dust, but quite another when the collection surface itself introduces unwanted contaminants. I'm referring, of course, to your roof material. The most striking and concerning example is good old asbestos roofing. Yes, it's graced the roofs of many country homes for decades. But what's it made of? Asbestos cement. Over time, exposed to sun, rain, and frost, this material degrades, breaks down, and starts to shed particles. Microscopic asbestos fibres, a known carcinogen, are then washed into your collection barrel. Even if the concentration is low, would you knowingly water strawberries or dill with this compound, knowing you'll eventually serve them to your family? I think the answer is quite clear. Next up, bituminous shingles, roofing felt, and other petroleum-based materials. Under intense heat and scorching sun, these materials can soften and leach volatile organic compounds and bitumen particles into your water. You might even notice a thin, oily, iridescent film on the water surface in your collection barrel. This is certainly not beneficial for your plant's root systems. A metal roof might seem like the ideal solution, smooth and relatively inert. And largely, that's true. However, there are still caveats. Inexpensive metal tiles or corrugated sheets may feature a subpar polymer coating that degrades over time due to UV exposure, releasing microplastics into your water. Furthermore, if the roof has scratches that expose the bare metal, then zinc or iron oxides, essentially rust, can leach into the water. While small amounts aren't immediately harmful, Consistently watering plants with an excess of these metals can inhibit their growth and overall health. So, before you celebrate that full rain barrel, take a critical look at your roof. The chemical composition of the water you're about to use for your future harvest directly depends on it. And finally, the third and arguably most common pitfall is improper rainwater storage. Let's say you've covered the first 2 points, you've diverted the dirty first flush, and you have a perfectly safe roof. You've collected a barrel full of pristine water. So what could possibly go wrong now? More often than not, this barrel is sitting somewhere sunny, and most importantly, it's open. An open barrel of water exposed to direct sunlight isn't just a container for irrigation. It's an ideal incubator for an entire ecosystem you definitely don't want in your garden. What happens inside? The water heats up. Inevitably, airborne spores, dust, and tiny bits of organic debris fall into it, and a rapid proliferation of life begins. First, there's algae. Your pristine water blooms within just a few days, turning into a green, murky soup. This is not only unsightly, but also the first sign of deteriorating water quality. Second, bacteria. In warm, stagnant water, they multiply at an incredible rate. The water begins to smell foul. Simply put, it putrefies. It becomes truly stagnant, and this means the level of dissolved oxygen drops catastrophically. So, with the best of intentions, you grab a watering can, scoop up this swampy broth, and water your plants. What do their roots receive? Water with almost no oxygen. Yet oxygen is vital for root system respiration. Consequently, regularly watering with such stagnant water doesn't promote growth. Instead, it stunts plants and can trigger root rot. Are you wondering why your leaves are yellowing, even though you water them diligently? The answer might just be in your barrel. Not to mention, an open water container is an excellent breeding ground for mosquitoes that will then bother you all evening. And now for the really interesting part. Here's the unexpected truth. The problem isn't with rainwater itself, but with the initial dirtiest portions that come down. And the solution is surprisingly simple. You don't need to give up on collecting water. You just need to bypass that first flush. How do you do this? You could install a special device, a first flush diverter. But there's an even simpler way. Simply don't direct your downspout into your barrel during the first 10 to 15 minutes of a heavy rain. Allow the roof to wash clean. Let the initial dirtiest water simply drain onto the ground. Only then, position your container to collect crystal clear, beneficial, and safe rainwater. Also, always keep your rain barrel covered to prevent microorganisms and mosquitoes from breeding. And that's all there is to it. So don't be afraid of rainwater. Just be smarter about it. Collected correctly, it truly becomes liquid gold for your garden. This simple plant care trick will help you achieve a healthy and abundant harvest. Thank you for watching this video to the end. If you found it helpful, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss new gardening tips and tricks. And now a question for you. Do you collect rainwater for your garden? Have you encountered any problems? Or perhaps, do you have your own tips and tricks for collecting and using it? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's discuss.